Everything is always working out for you. I want you to pause for a moment and let that sink in. Not sometimes, not if you're lucky, but always. Everything. Every person you meet, every circumstance you encounter, every twist, turn, or delay, it is all working in your favor, quietly, perfectly unseen. And yet, most of us have forgotten this law, this truth we were born knowing. We look around, we see struggle, setbacks, confusion, and we believe that life is against us. But the reality is far more wondrous. Life is always responding to your inner state. What you feel, what you imagine, what you live as if true, it becomes your world. Everything works for you. This is not just a comforting thought. It is a truth that underlies all of life. Every person you meet, every situation you encounter, every twist or turn in your day, whether pleasant or challenging, is responding to your inner world. Life is not random. The universe is not against you. The obstacles you see, the delays you experience, the apparent failures, they are all part of a larger orchestration, quietly working in your favor. Often it is not obvious, because your mind wants immediate results, instant proof, and visible rewards. Yet the subtle workings of life are always in motion, and if you can learn to see through the surface, you will recognize that every circumstance, every encounter, and every coincidence is designed to bring you closer to what you desire. Think about the moments in your life when things just worked out unexpectedly. Perhaps a solution appeared effortlessly when you had been struggling, or the right person came into your life at exactly the right moment. Perhaps an opportunity that seemed impossible suddenly presented itself. Those moments were never accidents. They were life working in perfect harmony with your inner state. Life is responding to the vibrations of your imagination, to the feelings you carry, and to the assumptions you live by. When you align yourself with a sense of certainty and trust, when you carry the feeling of your wishes already fulfilled, everything around you begins to reflect that. Even when things appear to be going wrong, they are still working for you. Sometimes a setback is not a failure but a redirection, a hidden blessing, or a lesson designed to strengthen your inner state. What appears as disappointment is often the very mechanism that guides you toward what is truly aligned with your desires. The key is to trust the unseen, to believe that the unfolding is perfect, and to refuse to allow surface appearances to shake your conviction. When you maintain the inner knowing that life is on your side, you open yourself to the guidance, opportunities, and solutions that are otherwise invisible to a doubtful mind. Everything works for you because life is essentially your mirror. It does not act independently of you. The people you meet, the circumstances you face, and the events that occur are all reflections of your inner assumptions. When you feel fear, limitation, or doubt, those conditions are magnified outside of you. When you feel certainty, peace, and expectation, the world rearranges itself to match your inner state. You are not a passive observer but an active creator, and life is constantly responding to the energy you emit. Every encounter, every event, and every seeming coincidence is an expression of that creative law. It is also vital to remember that timing in life is not always immediate. Life works for you even in moments of waiting, because while you are preparing, the universe is arranging everything in perfect order. Trust the process and do not measure the progress by what you see on the surface. Life is far more intelligent than the human mind can comprehend, and it is always orchestrating outcomes in ways that serve your highest good. You cannot force it, but you can align yourself with it by imagining the end, living in the feeling of fulfillment, and trusting that every step is designed to bring you exactly what you desire. So pause, reflect, and feel this truth deep within your being. Everything always is working for you. Even when it seems otherwise, life is responding to the signal you are sending from inside. Your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions are shaping every experience. Trust it, live it, and watch how the invisible currents of life carry you effortlessly toward your desires. When you truly understand this, you will never see a situation as an obstacle again. You will see it as life itself conspiring to bring you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, and exactly in perfect harmony with your inner state. Your inner state creates your reality. This is the law you have always known, though you may have forgotten it in the rush of everyday life. Every circumstance you see around you, every person you meet, every situation you face, is a reflection of the state you occupy within. Your feelings, your thoughts, your imagination, these are not merely private experiences, they are the instruments through which your external world is shaped. Life does not happen to you at random. It is a mirror, reflecting back to you the energy you carry, the assumptions you hold, and the reality you choose to inhabit in your mind. What you imagine, what you dwell upon, what you live as if already true, becomes the stage upon which your life unfolds. Consider this: when you feel certain, confident, and alive with expectation, the world around you begins to respond in kind. Opportunities appear, solutions present themselves, and people align themselves with your path. Conversely, when fear, doubt, or anxiety dominate your inner world, you see struggle, resistance, and frustration reflected back to you. The external world is never separate from the inner. It is a perfect echo of your mental and emotional state. Every setback, every challenge, every apparent obstacle is simply life reflecting a state that is not yet in harmony with the reality you desire. Imagination is your most powerful tool of creation. It is the bridge between what you want and what you experience. You do not need to fight the world, argue with circumstances, or plead with others to bring your desires to life. All you need to do is enter the state of the wish fulfilled. Imagine vividly the life you want. Feel it as already real. Live as if it has already happened. The more detailed, the more alive, the more real it feels in your body and mind, the more inevitable it becomes in your outer world. Your imagination is not a pastime, it is the engine of reality. Through it, you shape events, attract people, and align circumstances with the life you choose to create. It is also vital to understand that this is not about idle daydreaming. This is about assumption. Assumption is living in the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. It is the act of giving life to your imagination in the present moment. When you assume the reality of what you want, you are sending a signal to the universe, a signal that cannot be ignored. The world must respond because everything outside you is bound to the inner state you occupy. Your imagination, therefore, is not fantasy, it is the blueprint for your reality. It is as real and potent as any physical action you could take, and it precedes all external manifestation. Many people look at life and blame circumstances, others, or fate for their experiences. They fail to see that the cause of everything they encounter is their own inner state. Every disappointment, every frustration, every challenge is simply life reflecting a state of consciousness that is out of alignment with the desire they hold. When you shift your inner state, when you imagine, feel, and live as if the wish is fulfilled, the outer world must follow. This is not speculation, it is the natural law of creation, always working, always faithful to the state you occupy. So take ownership of your inner life. Guard your imagination, direct your thoughts, and feel with certainty the reality you wish to experience. Recognize that your inner state is not a passive experience, but an active creation. Everything around you, every circumstance, every encounter, every opportunity is shaped by what you hold inside. Your imagination is your tool, your inner state is your power, and your life is the canvas on which you paint the reality you desire. Master this, and you will never again feel powerless, for you will know that the life you see outside is simply the reflection of the life you create within. Assume the feeling of fulfillment, and you will begin to witness a transformation in your life unlike anything you have experienced before. This is not a concept to merely think about. It is a principle to live, to breathe, to embody in every moment. Most people look to the external world and hope, wish or pray for something to happen. They believe that circumstances must first change before their desires can be realized. But this is a reversal of the natural law. It is not the world that shapes you, it is your inner state that shapes the world. Your feelings, the emotions you dwell upon, the inner reality you occupy, these are the seeds from which your life grows. To manifest your deepest desires, you must first feel them as already accomplished. You must live in the reality of the wish fulfilled. Feeling is the secret language through which the universe responds. It is not enough to imagine a scene, to see it in your mind, or to speak words of affirmation without first immersing yourself fully in the emotional experience of having what you want. What would it feel like to have it, to hold it, to live it, to experience it in every cell of your being? That feeling, that vibrancy, that certainty is the signal that sends your desire into motion. It is the fuel that ignites the unseen forces around you and begins to shape the external world in perfect harmony with your imagination. Many people struggle because they look at their current reality and try to force their desires into it. They argue with circumstances, they push, they hope, they wait. But this approach is always limited because it is rooted in lack and resistance. The secret is to reverse the order. First, assume the state you desire. First, feel the fulfillment as if it has already come. Let the satisfaction, the joy, the relief, the gratitude of having it flood through you. Live in that inner reality, and the outer world cannot help but follow. Life responds to what you are, not what you wish for. Assuming the feeling of fulfillment is not an act of denial of your current circumstances. It is an act of creation, of consciously choosing your state, of stepping into the life that already exists in your imagination. Imagine the end result and feel it fully. Imagine the doors opening, the people aligning, the circumstances bending effortlessly to your favor. Feel the pride, the peace, the excitement, the love. Let it become so real inside you that your body, your thoughts, and your energy align with it completely. When you do this consistently, your external world must respond because the law of creation is unwavering and faithful. Persistence is essential. Your desire will not manifest if your inner state wavers between doubt and certainty. You must continue to live in the feeling of fulfillment, no matter what the external world appears to be showing you. Appearances are deceptive. Life may present delays, challenges, or seeming contradictions, but these do not negate the law. They are merely opportunities to deepen your assumption, to strengthen your feeling, and to remain aligned with the reality you are creating. By persisting in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you become a magnet for circumstances that match your inner state. This practice is the bridge between imagination and reality. It transforms thoughts into experiences, dreams into living, and desire into manifestation. Every moment you assume the feeling of fulfillment, you are telling the universe, and more importantly, yourself, that your wish is already real. You are stepping out of limitation and into the infinite power of creation. And when you do, there is no force on earth that can prevent your desires from appearing. Life will respond effortlessly, perfectly, and inevitably. So assume it, feel it, live it. Let the reality of your wish fulfilled guide your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your expectations. In that state, you are invincible. In that state, everything aligns. In that state, your desires are no longer distant, they are here now and waiting to be reflected back to you in the outer world. Doubt blocks, certainty unlocks. This is the subtle law that governs the unfolding of all desires. Life is constantly responding to your inner state, but when doubt enters, it clouds your vision, weakens your feeling, and slows the response of the universe. Doubt is not merely a thought, it is a state of consciousness that contradicts the reality you wish to experience. It is the silent thief that steals your creative power, replacing your faith with hesitation, your certainty with fear. The moment you doubt, you introduce resistance, and resistance is the only thing that can delay or distort the manifestation of your desires. Yet doubt is natural to the human mind. We have been trained to look at the world, to judge circumstances, and to rely on the evidence of our senses. When life does not appear to align with our wishes, we begin to question, to fear, to hesitate. But appearances are not reality, they are simply reflections of the past or the unformed. The law, the unseen force that shapes all things, is neutral and faithful. It responds only to the state you occupy, and doubt is a vibration that signals lack, separation, and uncertainty. When you feel doubt, the world reflects doubt. When you feel certainty, the world responds with alignment, support, and fulfillment. Certainty, on the other hand, is the key that unlocks all doors. Certainty is not mere wishful thinking, it is a living, breathing assumption that your desire is real, complete, and inevitable. It is the state of mind in which you act, feel, and live as if your wish is already fulfilled. Persistent faith is the engine that drives this certainty. Faith is not a blind hope, it is a knowing, a conviction so strong that it cannot be shaken by appearances. When you persist in feeling the reality of your desire, doubt cannot survive. It fades in the presence of unwavering expectation and persistent assumption. Obstacles, delays, and challenges are never signs that your desire will not manifest. They are tests, invitations, or opportunities to deepen your certainty. The outer world cannot resist your inner conviction. When you continue to hold the feeling of fulfillment, to live as if the end has already come, everything aligns to match that state. People, circumstances, and events shift effortlessly because the universe is bound to your inner state. Certainty is magnetic. Doubt is repelling. One draws experiences to you, the other pushes them away. Your only responsibility is to cultivate the feeling, to dwell in the reality of your wish fulfilled, and to ignore the appearances that would tempt you to doubt. Persistent faith is built moment by moment. It is strengthened by imagination, by visualization, and by the practice of feeling your desire as already real. Each time doubt arises, and it will, you must recognize it as a signal to return to certainty. Do not argue with doubt. Do not fight it with logic or reason. Simply shift your state. Recall the feeling of fulfillment. Re-enter the reality you wish to live. Let the feeling grow, expand, and fill your being. This is the way to override obstacles and to bring your desires into manifestation. Life does not need convincing, it needs alignment. When you are aligned with the feeling of certainty, the law cannot fail. Doubt may appear as a fleeting shadow, but certainty, cultivated and persistent, becomes the light that guides everything into place. It transforms hesitation into action, scarcity into abundance, and delay into instant alignment. The moment you embrace certainty and release doubt, you step into your creative power. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstances, because circumstances must follow the state you occupy. Remember, doubt blocks, certainty unlocks. This is the silent, invisible key to manifesting your desires. Hold your inner state with unwavering faith, live in the reality of fulfillment, and watch as the world reshapes itself to match your inner knowing. There is nothing outside you that can resist the certainty within you. You are the cause, and the world is the effect. This is the profound truth that governs every moment of your life. Everything you see around you, the people you encounter, the situations that unfold, the successes and failures, is a reflection of the state you occupy within. It is not the other way around. The world does not dictate your happiness, your success, or your reality. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your imagination are the true architects of every experience you have. When you realize this, when you truly embrace it, you step into a power so immense that nothing outside you can resist it. Most people look outward for answers, seeking solutions in circumstances, other people, or events. They believe that the world must first change before their lives can improve. Yet this is a fundamental misunderstanding of creation. Change begins within. Your inner state is the cause, and the world is the effect. When your imagination, your thoughts, and your feelings align with the reality you wish to experience, the outer world cannot help but reflect that alignment. It is a mirror perfectly faithful, reflecting exactly what you hold inside. Every joy, every setback, every encounter is simply life echoing your internal state. Recognizing that you are the cause means taking full responsibility for your life. It means no longer blaming circumstances, luck, or other people for what appears in your reality. Every event is a reflection of the assumptions you make, the thoughts you dwell on, and the feelings you maintain. If you feel lack, limitation, or doubt, those experiences will manifest around you. If you feel abundance, confidence, and certainty, the world will reflect that state. The world outside is not random. It is precise, exact, and responsive to the inner life you cultivate. Your imagination is the tool through which you create your reality. Every thought you entertain, every emotion you nurture, shapes the life you experience. It is not enough to hope or wish for a better reality. You must assume it, feel it, and live it as if it is already true. When you do, the world becomes a canvas responding to your brushstrokes. People, opportunities, and circumstances align with the state you occupy. This is why some people seem effortlessly successful while others struggle endlessly. It is not chance. It is the law of consciousness at work. Those who understand that they are the cause live in alignment with their desires. Those who do not remain subject to the reflection of unexamined thoughts and feelings. Understanding that you are the cause also liberates you from fear, worry, and resistance. When you know that your inner state shapes every outer experience, you no longer need to manipulate circumstances or try to control the behavior of others. You simply focus on cultivating the inner life that produces the reality you desire. Every thought, every feeling, every assumption becomes deliberate and intentional. You become the conscious architect of your life, designing each day, each interaction, each moment from a place of creative power rather than reaction. Life will always respond to the state you occupy. When you cultivate peace, joy, gratitude, and certainty, the world aligns effortlessly. When you embrace fear, doubt, or scarcity, the world mirrors that as well. The key is to remain vigilant over your inner life, to shape it consciously, and to live from the reality of your wish fulfilled. Everything outside you is a faithful reflection of what you believe and feel inside. By mastering your inner state, you master your outer world. So remember, you are the cause, and the world is the effect. Your thoughts, feelings, and imagination sculpt your reality with absolute precision. The life you see around you is nothing more than a reflection of the life you hold within. Embrace this power live deliberately and watch as the world transforms to match the inner state you choose to maintain. There is no limit to what you can create once you understand that the ultimate source of all manifestation lies within you. As we come to the close of this message, remember this one undeniable truth: everything is always working for you. Life is not random, and the world is not against you. Every circumstance, every person, every moment is reflecting the state you occupy within. Your feelings, your thoughts, your imagination, these are the tools through which reality is shaped. When you assume the feeling of fulfillment, when you live in the certainty of your desires already achieved, doubt loses its power, obstacles dissolve, and the world aligns effortlessly with your vision. You are the cause, and the world is the effect. This is your power, your birthright, and your responsibility. Nothing outside you can resist the reality you choose to create within. Step boldly into this truth, nurture your inner state, and watch as life unfolds perfectly, harmoniously, and magnificently in your favor, always, inevitably, and without fail.